Hey Jonathan, thanks for having me. This is Mike from DevilDriver-Verona on Venus.
Hi, this is Eric from Testament.
This is Mark.
This is Logan Mader.
Mark Janssen.
Phil Bozeman.
Ben Wyman.
Janice Manitow.
Ben Dewar.
Nick Nocturnal.
David Olson.
SOBRE, la dosis.
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 Jonathan Montenegro.
Jonathan Montenegro.
Jonathan Montenegro.
Jonathan Montenegro.
With Jonathan Montenegro. Let's go!
You better be listening because I know where you live.
Answer some of your questions. Question number 1. Around 2017-2018, you were contemplating the idea of putting together a project that was musically distant from DevilDriver. It was not until the pandemic that you honed the idea of creating Verona on Venus. What helped give shape and life to your new project? Well, for one, the pandemic gave me some free time to work on it finally. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a while. And if I was going to write stuff that sounded like DevilDriver, I would use it for DevilDriver, so I wanted to do something completely different. And I have a massive love for the more industrial side of metal, and I wanted to start incorporating that into my music. It's something I've been wanting to do since I was probably 15 years old. Question number 2. With Verona on Venus, what do you want to express with your lyrics to fans that differ from DevilDriver? Well, for one, I don't write the lyrics for DevilDriver. That's Dez's duty. And when I first started writing lyrics for Verona on Venus, I had no idea what I wanted to write about. So it was a little bit of a tough process to get into for me. But once I would say I got through about 3 or 4 songs, I started to really enjoy it, which is not something I really expected. And I also discovered that a lot of my songs were not about just one thing. They're a little bit on the vague side. And I would prefer that people that are listening would go into listening to the songs with an open, fresh mind, and so they can decipher what they're about on their own, rather than going in knowing what the songs mean to me. I want them to discover what the songs mean to them. Question number 3. How did you get into music, and more specifically, into the ranks of DevilDriver? So I was about 6 years old, watching MTV, and Def Leppard's Pour Some Sugar on Me video came on, and that was it. I knew right then and there what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Wanted to play guitar, wanted to be in a rock or metal band. Over time, I started to get into the heavier side of things, like Metallica, Megadeth, Pantera, and then more into like the Scandinavian metal bands, Opeth, In Flames, At the Gates, and they're not from Scandinavia, but Carcass was also one of my favorite bands, still is. How I got into DevilDriver, I kind of fell backwards into it accidentally. I was good friends with Jonathan Miller and Jeff Kendrick and John Berkman. We were in a band together before DevilDriver in Santa Barbara, and they went off to join DevilDriver, and in between tours I would let them stay at my house because they didn't have a place to live. And one day Jeff came home after a meeting with the guys, and he told me that their guitar player at the time, Evan, didn't want to go out on this next tour, so I offered my services, learned the songs in one night. 2 days later, I was in Gothenburg, Sweden, with DevilDriver opening up for In Flames. It was supposed to be temporary. It was a short three and a half week tour, and when we came home, they hired me on full time. And here we are, 20 years later. Lastly, you're the first person I'm telling this. I haven't told anybody yet, but I will be releasing a new Verona on Venus song called War Baby sometime in the spring or summertime, and I have started rehearsals with my band. Or I'm sorry, I haven't started yet. I'm going to be starting rehearsals with my band at the end of this month. So live shows are in the works. Thanks for having me.